All right, it's another Tony Two Tough video. This time we're out in the woods at the equestrian, kind of close to my house. You might be able to hear some traffic in the background, but here's what we're doing today, folks. I'm making this out of all natural material, really crappy bow drill, but or bow. Don't worry about that. It'll get the job done because I kind of already burnt this board in. I found this piece of pine, and I do believe it may still be a little wet. I can almost feel the dampness in there. It's either that or it's got lighter, little fat wood in there. But listen, I was able to burn in a little something, but I'm going to work on this side here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the rest before we carve into a notch or some place for my spindle to fit into. I found this piece of fat wood. I just carved a little bit of a little divot in there, which I'll make a little better. It's a little deeper. Doesn't have to be that fancy. Just needs to hold the divot or the spindle tip. So anyways, and then I found a spindle, which it has a little bit of punk wood in it. I really have no idea. Again, I'm new at this crap. Yeah, guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to figure it out until I work it, until I get it done. That's about as straight as I was going to get it for now. And it seemed to be, when I did my burn in, though, interestingly enough, it was just a light colored dust. So I don't know. Listen, I'm just out here messing around and I'm playing for right now. So this is going to be a long journey, guys. You don't have to go with me on every video, but I'm just tracking this for my own, content, so I can see how my journey's going along. But anyways, starting to get warmed up here. So let's see if we can, let's carve in a little bit of a divot here, and let's get the, hopefully you can see that. Let me make sure. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can see that good. All right. So let me carve into this. I'm going to get a little spot for my bearing, or for my drill to actually go into, my spindle, whatever you want to call it. I'll probably mispronounce things or call things different things, but I'm new at this, guys, so I give me a little grace. And I'm giving myself plenty of grace. I am, because it's a long journey. I don't have to do this overnight, and I don't have to be, this is just me experimenting right now. So I don't have much faith that this wet wood is going to get anything done today, but at least I'll get some practice time in. I'll know what to look for in material. Man, I would love to get some saw palmetto, or one of those big cabbage palms where the branch actually meets up with the tree, and we should be good. All right, so I got a little bit of a divot in there, and here's my my spindle. Here's my hearth board. Here's my fat wood bearing block, and this is my Ghetto Fabulous bow. All right, I may have to adjust that as things go on, but we'll see where we go with this. Okay, so let's start off. I'm going to bring this a little bit over here. I'm going to hold it from this end, hike up my pants. Got to get positioned right. Put my keys in my pocket. Make sure there's nothing up in here. All right, I'm sure you guys can see that. Get it as flat as I can. All right, let's try this. Let's see what we got. There we go. Let's try it. I'm going to get it warmed up and seated. I got to be careful not to sweat into my board, because it is hot, guys. And it's actually one of the cooler days in Florida, but it's still warm. I can't tell if that is smoke or steam. Probably steam, because I know this is wet. But that's one way to get the wet out of the wood, is to drill it in. Let's take a look. Now I got some friction up top here. I can see the smoke just pouring off of here. Okay. Let's take a look at that dust. You see that? That's really tan. It's really too tan. Totally too tan. All right. So, let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and, guys, I'm just going to carve the notch and just do it. And I need to catch my breath, which I usually don't need to do when I'm doing this. But such is life. It's working with different material. I'm not on my back patio. Do I want to go here or do I want to go there? I'll go here. Okay. Yeah, and it's really hard. So I think there's fat wood in here, if I'm not mistaken, because it smelled like a little bit of turpentine in there, which to me, that's obviously, to anybody, that's got fat wood. But it's a piece of pine. Look, I don't have much material to work with here in Florida. It's all oak or pine, at least in my area. And man, oak is harder than freaking pine. So I'm choosing the lesser of two evils on this one. It's marginal wood, but hey, man. Again, I'm just playing around here for right now. If I get an ember, I'll be happy. I'll be pretty damn impressed. You're like, look at you, Tony, too tough, go. You bad mofo. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room for some airflow down here. Be careful when I'm pointing that thing towards me. All right, let's hope I didn't make it too wide. I don't knock that thing out. That's where we're sitting. Hopefully that focused in. Okay. All right. Now, I got to get one more piece of equipment out here, which is in my bag stuff. I got this. I'm working with a little bit of a logo. I like to turn it too tough around the triangle on the fire. I'm just going to mess around with this until I get something going. See how it goes. All right. Okay. Let's see what we got, baby. Let me clean up the spindle a little bit because it was getting too much heat up there. And it's a little punky. This wood is, guys, I think I'm just going to have to focus on how to collect right wood. But in the meantime, I'm going to fuck with this wood that I got because this is what I've got. And I want to try. And I came out here for that reason. So it's okay if it's not going to be a fire. It's going to be fine. What's going to be counted as a victory is the lessons learned. So I got a little more pointy. Hopefully that'll get enough to keep some reduce the friction down a little bit. I want the friction here, not here. So let's go to my ghetto fat. Oh, I think that's a little. Tighten that up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. Lock my wrist into my shin. Let me just get the board warmed up. I am not making any dust yet. Although with my store-bought cedar wood, that dust would have been halfway filled up the notch already. Utilize the full length of my bow. So my dust is not dropping into my notch. It's sticking on the side a little bit, and it's chunky, which means there's some fat wood in here. Okay. Yeah, it's some chunky. All right. Give it a reason to fall into it. Thanks for just listening to my heavy breathing right now. It's a bit of a workout when you're using non-store-bought material. I think this is fat wood. It's pine. It's dead pine. It's been here for a minute. And there we are. I haven't gotten very dark. Nothing's dark yet. This isn't even dark. And usually by now it would be. But we're going to try this again. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Well, let's try it until we get it. Tighten up my string a little bit. That's a little too tight. There we go. Let's see. This should be fine. It's too tight. See if that'll get the spindle in there. There we go. All right. And I can cinch it off with a clove hitch. You know, I haven't eaten today, so this is perfect time to do it, because if I was out in a survival situation, not that I'm a survivalist, but if I was, it'd be nice to know that I can do it on my reserved calories. Okay, it's a little shaky, but all right, we're good. Let's try this again. Let me try this again. Let's try it right here. There we go. All right. Attempt number 2. This is a really crappy bow. Let me try it this way. Okay. Let's see how that works. $20. 30. 40. Oh, I think I lost part of my block. I did. But it'll let me go. Oh, fuck. Okay. Wee doggy. Okay. Okay. Well, a little blood, a little sweat, no tears. No tears, just a little blood and sweat. That's okay. So, I think this needs to be dried. I'm gonna look it up on the interwebs, find out what. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just dry it out when I get home. Anyways, I'm going to conclude this Tony 2 tough test. And I'm going to say, so far, so good. I pissed around in the woods, made a bearing block, hearthboard, a spindle, and a ghetto fabulous bow drill. But listen, not everything's going to be a success. Like I said, this is a journey. I'm going to take this journey for where I can. And it's going to take some time. And I'm going to be okay with that. And with that being said, there's no fails if you learn something. There's just tries that didn't work out. So I'm going to call this one good. So thanks for stopping by. You don't have to go too far. Sometimes you just got to go to the equestrian right around the corner from your house. Go about 400 or 500 yards into the woods, and you got to get your dirt on. So go on now. Now get.